Hello everybody, welcome to JC Let's Play. My name is Jonathan Cook, and this is finally episode 1 of Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. That's right, thank you to my friends over at Distant World. The votes have been cast, the race has been selected, the class has been selected, the character I will be playing has been selected. And so without any further delay, we're going to click start. We're going to see Kale Claseon pop up here in his botanist gear. I just started playing with that earlier today. But we're not going to focus on Kale today. We're going to go into the new character menu, not load appearance data, and instead I'm going to reveal things to you as we get to them. So, the race and gender have been selected. It is not a male here. Instead, it is a female Mikote. Confirmed that. And it is not a Seeker of the Sun. It's actually a Keeper of the Moon. I'm going to reveal the class there at the end. If you're not familiar with Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn character creation, you can go check out my character creation benchmark vlog that I did, in which I kind of go through and give you the ins and outs of that. I believe we created a Seawolf Rugadin that day, male Seawolf Rugadin. And so, yeah, let's go through, let's create this character. I have no plans for what this character is going to look like, besides, you know, it's going to be a female Mikote, Keeper of the Moon. So we're just going to kind of go through each step and choose everything. So, as for height, let's see here. We could go from 63.8 inches all the way down to 58.9 inches, so not a ton of height differential. Let's just go for an even 60 inches. There we go. That seems like a good number. On the shorter side, but so be it. Bust size, this is always kind of an awkward one for a male character doing a Let's Play. Again, we could go from, you know, small to large. I'm just going to keep it a little bit more in the reasonable area there. I don't typically play female characters. It's kind of a new area for me. I tend to stick to males, which is why I left the character selection up to everyone else, so that way I maybe get out of the area that I typically play. Skin color, let's see, we could go from quite pale to kind of a lesser pale to, you know, very dark skinned to kind of bluish skinned. I'm going to kind of go through here, we'll look at some of the middling tones. That's a very blue color. Let's see what we have here. I kind of like that skin color, so we're going to go with that. The tail. Now, if you're familiar with Kale, you'll know that he has this tail, kind of the thicker, more of like a wolf-like tail. We have a lion-esque tail, more of a larger cat. Just kind of going through my options here. I think I like that one. Just a very feline tail. And we're going to make that one rather short. Just because the long tail, I don't know, that looks awkward, especially with how far off it comes, and just I prefer the shorter tail there. Hairstyle. Oh, I'm horrible with this sort of stuff. That's not bad. A lot of people have this one. This is kind of a carryover hairstyle from Final Fantasy XI. You saw that a lot of the Mithra. It's kind of a very, you know, shortcut, almost kind of tomboyish type look. Longer with bangs. Not a fan of pigtails. Another short crop. I kind of like that one. That's another very familiar one you see on a lot of the Mikote. This is another one that kind of came over from Final Fantasy XI. I actually kind of like that one as well. This one kind of takes pigtails to the extreme, and it's just a variation of that. I think I'm torn between this style and this. I think we're going to go with that for the time being. I can always come back and change it if I decide to. And, of course, with the subscription rewards they've given, once they finally charge me, I will be getting a file of Fantasia for all the characters I've created, so I can go back in and recreate those characters. So, let's see what we have for just kind of mousing over the various colors there. Truth be told, I'm kind of partial to redheads. It's kind of a nice contrast between the darker skin and not so much a lighter hair color, but actually we'll go with that darker there. And highlights, of course, we can go through, and we have a number of these that we can put in. actually thinking kind of that purple color. Kind of gives a almost like a pearlescent look to some of the hair. I like that. We're going to go with that. So that's the hair, the face. Let's see. We have 4 face options here. All very, younger looking. Kind of that rounded cheek, big eyes. Let's see. We'll see if I'm torn between these two. We'll go with that one for the time being. We have 4 jaw options. I think I'm going to kind of go with this longer face. Maybe not. Really? That's the difference? Just that little bump on the chin? We'll go with that. Eye shape. This kind of gives us the ability to change this up a bit. We'll go with that. The iris size. I kind of like the smaller one. Eye color. Wow, that was rather... I just caught a glimpse of that kind of gold color. And we're just going to go through and see what we have. Like I said, I have no preconceived... Like, I literally just... I haven't looked at the results since I made the poll. And so I just looked at the poll, confirmed that this was the character race, and so I didn't come in having any ideas as to what this was going to be like. Odd eyes. I'm not a huge fan of the odd eyes. Eyebrows. We'll go with that one. Just kind of a calmer look. The nose. I always do this from a profile view first. A couple that I liked. I think we're going to go with that one. The mouth. And really the majority of character customization, of course, takes place in the head area. And I think we're going to keep it with what it defaulted to, type 3. Lip color. I usually start with dark just to kind of get an idea of the color and then move from there. I quite often move down to light, and then again adjust from that. There we go. Ear clasps, those being the clasps in the ear. And we could choose to have those in both ears or not. I think I'm actually going to leave it in just one. Color of that, I'll go with kind of more of a burnished color. There we go. Facial features, let's see what we have here. I always, again, start with enabling them all, kind of go from there. So for this face we have a scar that goes over the eye, a mark on the forehead, a beauty mark, and a scar and a bandage. Not a big fan of a permanent bandage. I'm not liking either of the scars, really. Let's go back and look at the scar. Yeah, I really don't like that scar. I think we're going to go with that star. Face paint, we have a number of, rather drastic options here at the bottom. I did make one character using these. It was a Highlander male. I think we did in the Rugadin, but for this, I'm going to stick either with a blush or an eyeshadow. And I like that. It's not very invasive. Let's go down through and find a color. And again, we have options between light and dark here. to find something similar to the skin tone we have, but I don't know if I put that to light. No, maybe I should go with more of a reddish color. Sadly, I can't zoom in any further. I don't really like that. There we go. It's there, it's not very noticeable. And we come to the voice, which of course I always choose based off the laugh. And I've heard a number of these in-game, and they have been annoying. Wow, that one sounded kind of evil. No. Oh, that's decent. Wow, that... Okay. So I think I'm between 8... No. 7 and 11. Those are the two I'm looking at. Well, that was kind of boring. Okay. And that, of course, is the angry or frustrated emote. I really think it was the yes and the no that decided that for me. So, of course, that is our character as of right now. As I said, once we unlock a file of Fantasia, it's possible that we might be changing that, but for the time being, that is the name of the character. I'm going to confirm that. No, I don't want to save the appearance detail. Let's see. The date. What is the date of birth? What is today's date? I believe today is Wednesday, September 18th. So let's see, September being the 9th month, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, so 5th astral moon, and this being the 18th. And why it says 9/17 there, I'm not sure. But we will make it 9/18. No, I doubt. Yeah, we'll just make it the 18th sun of the 5th astral moon. Alright. A deity. Let's see here. We'll move through those. We have Halone, Menfina, Thaliac, ruler of rivers and wisdom, god of knowledge, guardian deity of Charlayan. Which, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, Charlayan is the area that Mikote originally traveled from. Nemea, element of water, and associated with the fourth moon of the Eorzean calendar. Limlane, I think that was probably how Watcher of Seas, goddess of navigation, guardian deity of Limsa Laminsa. Ashone, ruler of mountains and god of travelers and vagrants, element of wind, associated with the sixth moon. Birgat, not Birgut, Birgat, or maybe Bjorgut, could be. Element of lightning associated with the seventh moon. Ralger, that's really the Highlander deity, as you can see, guardian deity of the now fallen nation of Alamigo. So apparently he didn't do a very good job. Azima, ruler of sun, goddess of inquiry, commands the element of fire in association with the ninth moon of the Eorzean calendar. Naldthal, overseer of the underworld, god of commerce, is the guardian deity of Ulda. Guardian deity of Ulda is the overseer of the underworld. That's interesting. Nofika, tender of soils and harvest, goddess of abundance, guardian deity of Gridania, as you would expect. And Althic, surveyor of change and space, god of time, commands the element of earth and associated with the 12th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Well, of those, I kind of liked think we're going to go with that. So, okay. So, here it is. We choose the class. So, what class was chosen for me to play in my official Let's Play? Was it, and I'm going to change this to job, just so you kind of see what the character looks like in all the different job classes. And of course, because this class was chosen for me, I will be following it through to the end of the game, but we will probably dabble in other characters. Obviously, to unlock the job of whatever class we play, we'll have to dabble in other characters, so you'll see that. Pugilist being the monk character, and that is the monk artifact armor. Marauder being a two-handed axe-wielding tank, the gladiator being a sword and shield tank. So we have the Marauder there, and of course that panic pose every time we change that. The Lancer being a two-handed spear-using dragoon. Archer, that of course being the bard artifact armor. We have the Disciples of Magic, the Conjurer, the White Mage. That's a very nice staff. I like that. The Thaumaturge being the Black Mage with that fantastic meteor-looking staff there. Of course, how it clips through the hat is a little annoying. And the Arcanist, which in this they depict the Summoner artifact armor, but it also becomes the Scholar. So, which class was selected for me to play? And it looks like my character is seizing. Well, it was the Arcanist. That was what I was asked, what I was demanded to play by the members of Distant World, those that voted. So that is our character. So I will confirm that. We need to choose a world to play on. My goal is to play on Masamune with the rest of Distant World and a number of friends there. If I can find the server. There it is, Masamune Legacy. You see we already have one character there, being Kale Colosseon. Now, before you think, John, you're creating a character on the same server, you're going to supply this character with money and items and all of that stuff, I can assure you I won't be. The reason for that being, it is impossible to transfer items from one character to another character on the same account. Because in order to mail items to somebody, you have to put them on your friends list, and you can only put somebody on their friends list when they are online. So the only alternative way of doing it would be to put it up on the auction house, the marketplace, and buying it from there. However, then my character has to have the money to do that, and as a level 1 character, I'm not going to have the money to do that. If I put anything that would be pertinent to that character on the marketplace, it's probably going to sell before I can log out, get on the character, and buy it at the low price that this character will have. So, at this time, that shouldn't be a problem, and I wouldn't do that to you guys anyway, so we're going to confirm that, and now we have to create a name, and for this, I am going to do something a little different. I will be right back as I switch to another window. Okay, and we see here I've just opened a window that is the Final Fantasy XIV character name generator. And for this, it's found at fandango.exp.jp/namegenerator.php. And you choose the race that you're playing. So in our case, the Moonkeeper, Makote. You choose the gender you're playing, the female Moonkeeper Makote in this case, and you click generate. And what it does is it generates a random name using the naming conventions provided by Square Enix for you to use for your character. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to find a name that I like. And Fippo Nbolu. No, that one doesn't work. Kata Aliapo. No. Zana Molko. No. And you're seeing this, just as I'm doing it. Ryan Bolo, no. Pelhi Polali. That's interesting. Now I'm going to continue on. Nashu Panapar. Nashu Panapar. I kind of like that. But I don't think it fits our character. My character doesn't look like a Nashu. I can't even pronounce that, so I'm not going to try. Bukaviko, no. Kuja Garanji. Now, every time I see that, I'm going to think of Kuja from Final Fantasy IX. Yen Gamdula. No. Mia Amarillo. Mia, there, that is our character's name. Mia Amarillo is our character's name. So I'm going to switch back over to the Final Fantasy XIV window, and you can probably see it running in the background there, but I just need to change my camera there if I disable that window. And we come in here, and my sound probably cut out a bit. So we are M-I-A-H, Mia Amarillo. Mia Amarillo. I really like that name. Confirm. And it's currently checking things. And the character name cannot be used. Please input another. I am disgusted by that as well. You looked like a Mia to me. So we're going to bring the window back up here. And go through that again. Generate. No, you are not a Bathu. Kata. No. Oki Linze. No. 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 Ria Katapo. No. I like the Mia name. We're sticking with the Mia name. We're just gonna find a good name, a last name. Moshiroka? No. No. Kamazome. No. I really liked Mia Amarillo. It rolled off the tongue. It was nice. Zwan, Moshiroka. That's the one I'm liking so far is Moshiroka. Mia Moshiroka. Makaraka? No. Lizzie. Mia Lizzie. There we go. Mia Aliapo. So I'm going to remove that window, come back in here, and Aliapo. Confirm. Yes! And the name was accepted. Mia Aliapo. That is our character name. So I'm going to click OK. We're going to begin a new game with this character. We'll see the opening cutscene with our character as we face off against an unknown force. And the loading screen is going to take its time. And I'll remain quiet during cutscenes. Here it goes. Alright, and we're out of that cutscene. I do want to apologize. I'd forgotten that I have the game set to use Japanese voices with the English subtitles. I haven't been overly impressed with the overall voice acting of the English voice actors, so I apologize for that, so just be aware that in other voiced cutscenes, it will be the Japanese. But for this stuff, for right now, I've decided I'm going to read through these text bubbles for you, just to kind of move through it, and so that way I know that I'm not moving past them too quickly. So this cutscene, obviously, I will be talking. It's not so much a cutscene as more of a scripted event. So it starts off, "Oi, you all right, lass?" And I'll try not to do voices. And we open. "You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling to the ship got your stomach churning, has it?" I have no idea who this person is, but he seems to know me fairly well. Don't seem like seasickness, now that I look at you. It'll be the aether then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others. See, and we ain't too far from Veilbrand now, which is chock full of aetherites. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. I'll try to keep my mouse out of the way as well. Might as well be bloomin' seasickness. Sheep's leaping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Limsa Limits is still a far way off, in case you were wondering, seeing as you're awake now and all. How's about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Any road, Brennan's the name, and peddlin's me trade. And I do apologize, there's a lot of text throughout this cutscene. Though this would be the first time I've seen the Laminsan opening scene, because I haven't created a character that started in Laminsa yet, since they opened the game up for full cutscenes. Ah, smell the salty breeze. Now then, lass, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I think you're a bit of a creeper. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it first attracted you to it? And here we have a dialogue box come up. We can choose any number of these. It doesn't really matter. I've heard that, choosing the fourth one gives you the best option. What you get is a ring, depending on the option you choose. I'm just going to choose the bottom one because my character isn't looking for power or to win glory or to amass a fortune. My character is looking to share their story with you. Well, if you ain't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might as well be old Brennan's a chatterbox. Or it might be as old Brennan's a chatterbox, but he sure as hells ain't no busybody. Well, I'm gonna stumble over all of these. We all have secrets or three, don't we? Me, dozens. And I'd rather they stayed secret too, which is why I don't go sticking me nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, that's a fact. Oh, and it seems as though we have trouble starting. The ship is under attack. Ship's off the starboard bow. Pirate colors. I'll try not to read these things too bland. I'll try to put a little emotion into it. Pirates. Bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below. And down below we go. Under attack by pirates. What is the world coming to? Pirates firing on a ship flying Laminsan colors. Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all brains. The language in this game is rather colorful, just to be warned, if you haven't guessed already. You can rest easy, friends. We've made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer's bark will catch this flighty temptress once the wind's in her sails. Oh, that's good. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept her head on her shoulders. I reckon I'd have lost mine otherwise. If them pirates give up the chase, we must be If them pirates give up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head on up on deck and have a look, shall we? I don't know, the last time we went up on deck, it didn't end so well for us. Someone's shoes are squeaking. By the by, is this your first trip to Limsa Lominsa? Well, technically it is not. However, for this character, it is. It's the first trip. And it doesn't really matter. Whatever one you give, he gives you the same general information. It is. Well then, all this journeyed itinerant tell you is that... It is. Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you all the ins and outs of your destination. Ahem. Limsa Lominsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago, the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilizing influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Of course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if that weren't bad enough, I've heard the Sahagin are raiding close to the coast. I've heard the Sahagin are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them are the sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. That, of course, being one of two beast tribes that plagues Limsa Lominsa. At long last, land ho. Behold Limsa Lominsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limlane, goddess of navigation. Sorry, struggled with that name for a second. And another cutscene.
Eorzea no nansei, Bail Brando to. ロータの海に面するリムサロミンサは島南部のラノシア地方を領する海洋都市国家である。湾内にある島々と岩礁の上に渡された橋楼が作る街並みは女神の名を取りリムレーンのベールと称されるほど美しい。海の都と謳われるこの都市に今一人の冒険者が訪れようとしている。今はまだ己の運命を知らぬ者。
And here's where we part ways, alas. Oh, sorry about that. I clicked off the screen. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares. Then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me arse earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. I suppose that works.
神々に愛されし地エオルゼアの歴史に名を残す者。この冒険者の長き旅は海の都リムサロミンサから始まる。
Hey, you there. I mean you. This is my district. Yeah, this is my district, and I make it my business to know all the scum that washes up in it. Scum? That's rather rude. Ah, an adventurer fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Limsa Laminsa's finest to set you on the right path. Hop to it, lass. I haven't got all day. And there we have it. Welcome to Limsa Laminsa, a bustling city-state filled with scoundrels and brigands, a rough-cut diamond out of the Rotano Sea. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Kind of breaks the immersion there. I will be using a mouse and keyboard for the time being, at least. You may be thinking, John, in your other videos we've had your keyboard make a bunch of noise. What are we going to do? I have ordered the O-rings. I got the shipping confirmation for them today, so very soon they will be installed, and the amount of noise from my keyboard will be reduced. But in the meantime, you'll just have to deal with it. Follow the instructions to move your character and adjust the position of the camera. I know how to do all of this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick this box, say disable all active help windows. If you're playing yourself, you may want to keep those on. I've been playing for quite a while now, so I know all of the basic controls and most of the things that this is going to teach you, so I'm just going to disable those. And so, as you can see, I have full control of my camera. And when you're ready to proceed, speak with Ristfla. That would be this man up here. However, that is going to be it for this episode. It's already gone about 30 to 35 minutes, depending on what it looks like after I finish editing. And so I don't want to hold you any longer. In the next episode, we will pick up with speaking with Ristflo and getting started with our character, whose name I have already forgotten. Mia Aliapo. Or maybe it's Aliapo. I guess I get to choose how it's pronounced, don't I? But I'll get that squared down before the next episode. But in the meantime, Mia is going to give us a goodbye wave, and we will see you all in the next episode of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.